Hello, hello, hello. Basically, welcome to Couple Spursies. Um, I have yet to make Tottenham news content, but I feel like again the Tonali stuff, the Fernandez stuff, all has passed already. So I kind of maybe just some pre-season content before the season starts. I want to talk about something that I'm quite passionate about, which is actually FPL. So I started playing FPL only last year, and I only started playing seriously, I would say, halfway through the season. And I managed to get number 68 in my country, Brunei, and I think like top 200k, like 169. And I swear, like, I don't know, I've always heard about FPL. I've always, I've talked to people who play with it and whatnot. I've always been interested, but I think I never paid attention to the Premier League that much, like throughout the season. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun to pay attention because again, I watch Spurs every week already. Doing the extra stuff of just paying attention to other teams and watching highlights is fine, and gets my mind away from work at least, and other stuff in my life. And yeah, just something fun to do. Doesn't take too much of my time. But yeah, this year I am aiming to get top five in my country and hopefully maybe top 50k in the world. I don't know. I know that sounds crazy, but maybe top 100k. I'll be happy. But yeah, again, last year I played only seriously halfway through. First half of the season, I think I was number. Yeah, I was pretty bad. I remember I think was barely even top million in the world, and yeah, I ended it with top 169. And um, yeah, I'll talk about FPL a bit before I get into my squad. It's I think a lot of people, again, there's also the easy way. You just follow an expert, like a content creator and whatnot, and just do their squads and whatnot, and like hope you end high in your mini league. But I don't know. I feel like those people who do that, you can take away the fun of the game, which is you kind of do your own eye test. You do your own research. And I would say I watch those FPL content creators in a way to just like implement extra details for like players that I might not see. Players I don't watch who might be in my squad today. But yeah, again, like last year, my team was 1 in 11 million, which is freaking crazy. That means that nobody has my squad combination, and I'm pretty proud of that. I don't follow any templates. I kind of just follow what I feel will go well. Which again, the first half was just literally just vibe picks, but yeah, second half it's not just research. I did the planning, so I did FPL team. I started to plan my whole squad. Wait, actually, let me pause. But yeah, essentially, I used FPL team, so I kind of plan out my squad properly, and I kind of plan when I want to do my um, my wild card, the chips. When I would use the chips. 'Cause yeah, again, the first half of the season, I just did it how other people did it. It's like, oh, I feel like a bench boost is good, and I just did a bench boost. But yeah, enough rambling. But yeah, I want to take FPL slightly more seriously because I'm just a very competitive person that way. But yeah, let's go through my squad. Um, Give me a second. Okay, so in goal, I got Kinski and Dubravka. Um, Kinski is the most selected keeper in the game at the moment. Um, and Dubrovka is the second Tottenham goalie. The reason why is because there's no 4 million. Um, there's no 4 million. What's it called? What's it called? There's no 4 million keeper that plays first team matches. Like last year was Dubravka for Burnley, but yeah, this time, um, yeah, it's all second goalies and whatnot. So everybody was kind of forced to have a 4.5 million keeper in the bench in case your first goalkeeper doesn't play. But if you have Kinski and Dubravka, if Kinski doesn't play, it's high chance that Dubravka plays, unless I don't know for some reason Austin plays. But yeah, so I got that covered, and at least it's cheap. And I got two Spurs players already, and that's fine. Because outfield Spurs players, it's hard to predict. As much as I think we're gonna do well this season, I just don't know where the point will come. FPL point was, and of course, I went triple United. I went Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, and Mbuemo. Maguire because again, um, I don't know if he gets DEFCONs much. Again, I'm not expecting DEFCONs anyways because he's against United's against Hull and Ipswich. First 2 games in the season. Wait, can I? What can I do? What can I do? Can I do this? Oh, actually, yeah, I can do this. Yep. Hull, Ipswich, easy. Everton might be tough, but Man City tougher. But United did well last season. Um, Fulham, I think, are below us, gonna struggle, and Spurs, they're gonna lose. So I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna wild card at game week 6, but I'm biased that way. Sorry, my alarm to go to work is here. Yeah, I gotta wrap this up soon. Oh my god. But okay, let's go. Um, all right, and yeah, Calafiore. Of course, Arsenal. You gotta get an Arsenal defender one way or another, at least one. Um, it's pretty dangerous not to because I see some experts doing like triple Arsenal defense and whatnot. Yeah, if you don't get one, at least you'll fall behind. But again, for me, I don't need 3 Arsenal. I just think getting 3 Arsenal defense is way too risky. If Coventry happens to score again, Frank Lampard might figure something out. They might still lose the match but still score 1 goal. Then your clean sheet's done. But for me, I've spread my defense into three teams who are playing against newly promoted sides, which is Sunderland, United, and Coventry, Hull, and Ipswich. I mean, but yeah, and the players I have from are Sunderland, United, and Arsenal. Yeah, I think it's pretty well thought out in my defense. Honestly, even my sub defense is pretty decent. Rodon, um, who is it? Daniel Farke said that he calls Joe Rodon Joe Salah now because of how much he runs forward. And honestly, Leeds is my second favorite team. I don't know, maybe it's because they have a white jersey like Tottenham, but I don't know. I just love how they play. I just love their identity. I love their history as well, being once a big club. But yeah, I have Leeds finishing top 10 this season, so that justifies Rodon. And Vuskovic, ex-Tottenham player, has the ego to leave Tottenham for more minutes or for more guaranteed minutes. And yeah, and I think Brighton has to play him, or else he's gonna be like, bruh, you literally promised me to, to play me. So yeah, and Brighton's fixtures are not too bad. Again, with defenders who get defcons. When they're against big teams, they'll get defcons. When they're against low teams, you hope that they get clean sheets. So yeah, that's how you try to plan out your team, I guess. That's the benefits. I mean, with defcons. I mean, but yeah, cheap again. 5 million. Vuskovic, 4.5 million. Rodon, Hume as well, 4.5 million. Maguire is 5, and Calafiori is 5.5. Again, cheap defense because I don't like going for clean sheets. Me as a fan, I like to watch attacking football. Ange, yeah, whatever. Short thing, I have an Ange pillowcase that I cannot find. I spent literally like 20 minutes trying to find, but yeah, I'll try to put it there later, next time. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the background. Just a bit of change here and there. But yeah, and where was I? Yeah, so that justifies my defense. I think my sub defense are also good. I think covers the next at least 5 game weeks because I plan to not use any chips. I'll talk about bench boosting later because I know a lot of experts are gonna bench boost. I think there's like 50% of people who are gonna bench boost game week 1, and like another like 21% that's gonna bench boost game week 2, which is crazy. So that means literally 60% of the players are gonna bench boost in the first 2 game weeks, which I don't agree. I'll explain why I don't agree later. But let's go through my midfield. Actually, I'll just explain why now. I don't need structure in this video. It's just me talking. But yeah, again, the reason why I don't want to bench boost, despite literally every expert doing it, um, their argument, I'll share their argument first. Their argument is because they feel like for you to bench boost, you need to wild card. And now, because in this template of this season, same thing with last season, you have to, the chips you have, you can use it twice. First half of the season and second half of the season. And the way they justify it, in a way, when you start with the squad, it's like you're using a wild card. So that means you kind of have an extra wild card because you've already bench boosted. So your wild card is not attached to your bench boost. But I just don't think the fixtures are amazing. That's it. I just don't think game week 1 and game week 2 justifies a wild card. I am aiming. Okay, I don't know if I have it here. I don't know if I have it here. Let me. I'm aiming game week 11, but let me check. I don't know if I have it in this save. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't. Maybe here. Maybe here. Maybe. Sorry, I have 3 drafts at the moment. Give me a second. Because in do I? Yeah, no, I don't. Sorry, my bad. I just wasted people's time. But whatever. In game week 11, Tottenham is against Coventry or Ipswich, and then freaking Brighton is against one of those two, Coventry or Ipswich. So yeah, like that's a clearer target to aim. I like to have 2 likely clean sheets for 2 of my goalkeepers starting off. I just don't know about Brentford against Tottenham. Again, I have Kinskane goal, but I just don't know. And if I have Verbruggen in this team, one, I cannot afford it. And secondly is no, I can afford it, but I'll get into why. And the other reason is that what is it? Yeah, I Aston Villa home against Aston Villa away against Brighton. Yeah, I don't know. Aston Villa's a pretty decent team, you know. As much as I think they lost Watkins, and I think Majbo, the guy, the youngster, is also injured. But yeah, I digress because again, Aston Villa, whatever you can say about them, they're still, they still have Unai Emery, and I feel like every season people are like, oh, Aston Villa's gonna fall off this season, and they still do well. But I do think Aston Villa's gonna fall off this season. But again, this is still early in the season. I feel like they'll fall off more in the end. But whatever. Moving on. Okay, let's now. I've covered why I'm not doing bench boost, and yeah, I also explained why I have 1 million in the bank and I'm leaving it there. Okay. Sangare from Brentford. I think last season he was in Lens or whatever in French league, and he got like 18 DEFCONs, and DEFCONs I feel like it will go up with the toughness of the league. In my opinion, I don't know how accurate that is, but yeah, because again, you're gonna be more back foot. You're gonna have to need to defend more, and yeah, he has 18 DEFCONs on average, which is crazy, because the Premier League, the FPL minimum is 12 DEFCONs, so that's pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what he does in the Premier League, and I feel like I'm looking for that flooring in this. As much as I love attacking football, I love to have kind of like guaranteed points as well. So I feel like he's a guaranteed 4 almost every game. So like 4 times 38. I don't know how many that points are, but again, I'm sure it's like 150 plus. So yeah, again, if he gets an assist or 2, it could lead up to 180. And in the season, and I think Anderson in total got 178 last season. So yeah, I'll be more than happy if he gets some decent points there. And I feel like he's one of those players that I'll just keep because he's cheap, and I feel like his value will just continue going up. All right. Bruno Fernandes captain, nothing much to explain. Haaland didn't look that strong in Community Shield. Understandable, first match. He did get a lot of chances. And again, Raya is just amazing. but not a lot. But he had decent chances, and yeah. But I think I don't know. I just love Bruno. Again, he didn't do well in the AC Milan match, but he did so well in the game before that. What was it? Was it Leeds? I'm sure there was another game. But yeah, he finished first time left foot outside from the box. Wow, beautiful. So yeah, Fernandes is just one of those players. Whenever he has the ball, if you don't have him or if you don't captain him, you're just like, please don't score. So yeah, that's a pretty good player to have as your captain if you're scared about that. Mbeumo at the moment, I think he's playing as a striker. Because Sesko has a back problem. I know Sesko's like back in the after, but I'm sure Carrick wants Sesko to slowly come back in. And Sesko was a super sub anyways last season, right? Or am I wrong? I'm not a United fan, but from what I can see, looks like he wasn't playing 90 minutes, but he was still scoring. So yeah, Sesko can play as a super sub, and Mbeumo's just one of those players that don't really get tired, So yeah, I think he'll play majority of the minutes. Szoboszlai. So this is the player that the only player that my justification is because a lot of people own him. Yeah, so there's 41.4% ownership at the moment. I think it's more. I thought it was like 70, but whatever. Maybe 70 across experts. But yeah, the debate between Szoboszlai or Wirtz, for me, Szoboszlai has a higher flooring but lower ceiling, and Wirtz has a lower flooring and higher ceiling, if you get it. So basically, if they're like a bar, Wirtz is like this, and Szoboszlai is like this. And again, I just like guaranteed points, Szoboszlai takes corners and whatnot. Wirtz is amazing. I still rate him as a player, but I think Szoboszlai is... Yeah, I don't know. When I watch him play, I watched Liverpool against Como, I think. Yeah, whenever Szoboszlai got the ball, he looked forward, tried to make something happen, and I think that's a tough player I like. It's just sad that he's not playing as forward. I think he's playing like a defensive midfield role. But yeah, that just means maybe he get DEFCONs. I don't know. I'm happy to have him. There's not much debate for myself there, but I understand why people are considering Wirtz. Lefay. So Lefay is just one of those players. He's like Wilson from last season. Very integral in Sunderland. Does everything, essentially. Penalties, corners, free kicks, So you want a player like that. And players like that will usually play 90 minutes. So, yeah, and but the thing is, I'm just having these Sunderland picks only in the first quarter of the season because I think they'll struggle. I feel like I wouldn't say they would be in the mix of relegation, but I think they would be in the mix of maybe the 12th to 15th place. I feel like they'll struggle to balance Europe and whatnot. But yeah, especially when they're like already settled, like they're not gonna be relegated. I feel like they'll try to go Europe, and I feel like they'll just put their Premier League form behind. So yeah, Lefay is a good player to have now, I would say. And yeah, against Ipswich starting, again, possible clean sheet too. That's an extra point. So yeah, I'll take it. Okay, Haaland and João Pedro and Walageli. But yeah, Walageli, I think the last Ipswich preseason he played, not as a main striker though, but he still played. I'll just take him. 4.5 mil. I just wanted to free up some financial space. Haaland and João Pedro. Yeah, easy. Haaland is Haaland. You don't need to justify. I guess the only thing is why I didn't captain him. I've already explained it. Because Bruno is against Hull. And Haaland is... Yeah, still trying to get fit, Okay, I gotta go to work soon. Okay, João Pedro. I watched him most against Tottenham, the Chelsea against Tottenham game. He looked so sharp. He would look like just a millisecond faster than everybody, And I think for a striker at this league, that matters the most. And so yeah, I feel like he'll get the ground running. Again, no World Cup as well. I also like players who don't have World Cups, like again João Pedro, Szoboszlai, they're so fresh, that's all I can say. And I think Mbeumo as well didn't have a World Cup, right? Vuskovic barely played in the World Cup. Yeah, Rodon, So again, I just like players who didn't play in the World Cup, and I guess Especially if they didn't get called up, so they have something to prove, you know. So yeah, now I'll explain why I have this extra million. Don't worry, it'll be short. It's because okay, I'm already in draft 3. Because I'm going quite ham. So game week 2, no transfers. I think I'm pretty happy with this. So I feel like any transfer you make or any team you make, you try to make it for the next 3 game weeks so you can build up your transfers. And I always like to have around 3 to 2 extra free transfers, so I don't like to use it up all unless if I want to go aggressive. Example is this. So game week 3, I used up all my transfers is because I want to have this as a front 3. This is crazy. Look at this. Wow. And yeah, again, João Pedro is against Arsenal, but yeah, they're just this is just a really strong striking force, you know. But yeah, again, so what I did was I think I'm transferring out. I transferred out Mbuemo for like a 4.5 million midfielder, and yeah, that puts my bank literally on 0.0. But yeah, that's my plan so far. Hopefully, you guys are able to take a thing or two from this. My biggest advice as a new FPL player is don't consume every football content creator or stat there is. There is value in your own predictions because I remember last season all the experts were telling to go for Sar, Ismail Lassar from Crystal Palace, and I in my heart wanted to go for Bruno G, and yeah, Bruno G in the 3 game week scored like 16 points, 18 points, and Sar scored like 6. He blanked, and I think if anything he got 1 yellow card, and yeah, he got 5 points. But yeah, so that's the thing. Sometimes you just go with your gut feeling. You go with players you like because it's more fun that way. Because I know it's also tough when all the experts say this player and you go with your instinct and you're just like, ah, damn it, you know, it didn't go well. But that's FPL. That's the part of, you know, that's how you can get to, you know, top 50K, you know, if you want to do well. You don't just, you know, I feel like the people who just follow the content creators again, like I think there's one content creator who constantly finishes like top 5K, and he finished I think 30K last. It's still 50K, I know, but you know, like you yeah, there's no respect there. There's no fun there, you know. So yeah, shame on those people who follow like experts, like, you know, transfer to transfer, you know. And yeah, have your own strategy, have fun with it. Yeah, my biggest advice again, if you want to do well, is again do FPL team. Just plan out your squad, you know, at least for the next 5 game weeks. You know, it's not as because you might sometimes you're just like, oh my god, I need everyone to do well in the next 3 game weeks. It's like not really, because you just need 11 players. Technically, you just need 10 because your keeper is just there. You know, like if Kinski is against Arsenal, I'll probably still keep him. You get me? Because like yeah, you know, I have no other option. You know, and yeah, I just think Tottenham will do well this season, and there's no reason for me personally to go against that. But yeah, another advice. I had something in my mind. My brain is low key dead now because I worked out this morning, and yeah, again woke up early this morning to record this video. Yeah, added up trying to look for the Ange Postecoglou plushie. But yeah, give me 1 second. What's another advice I would give? Oh, at your own pace. Like, I know sometimes, like, I had this mistake. So, last preseason, one of my friends in my mini league, Captain Hallen, first match against United, and got like 45 points. And so, I was like, oh my god, like, yeah, Hallen against Man United, even though Man United is like a decent team, you know, when in derbies, big players tend to do well. So I think literally the next game week was Salah against Everton, and I literally triple captain Salah just out of vibes. And again, he didn't blank. He got like 6 points, so I got 18 points. But yeah, it's pretty dead. You know, like I could have gotten more points, literally. But whatever. That's that. Yeah. Last thing, last advice is try to go for big players because big players have big personalities, and these people are humans. They could have a bad game the week before. Like form exists, I get it, but they have like a winner's mentality, and I believe that they will bounce back. So yeah, again, players like Van Dijk last season had a bad run, but picked themselves back up. I remember talking to one of my friends. They're just like, "Oh, I'm done with like Liverpool assets. I'm done with Liverpool players. I don't want any Liverpool players anymore." But I'm just like, yeah, in the end of the season, they started picking up, and I think Van Dijk became like too expensive, and it's like, damn, but the people who held on to him, benefited. So yeah, these players who are champions, who are winners, they spent their whole season being winners. They their whole career, they won't just turn to shit. They're not gonna be like Werner from Leipzig to Chelsea and just crap. Or Torres to Chelsea again. But yeah, maybe unless it was Chelsea players, I don't know. So yeah, Morgan Rogers and whatnot. But yeah, I the that's I think the easiest way. Just go for players that you think has a good mentality. I honestly don't just watch data. I even watch interviews. I even watch player interviews. I think last year I remember watching Bijol from Leeds interview because I was really considering between the three, and yeah, he had a really strong mentality. But yeah, I don't have him this season because I don't think he's gonna be playing 90 minutes. But that's the thing. So try to go for the players that you believe in because that is the most fun way of playing FPL. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new setup. It looks pretty cool in but I feel like again I have more shirts in the back. I feel like you can't even see it from from this angle because I'm blocking my head. So I'll maybe figure out new placements. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe I could put it there. This is pretty empty if I think about it. Yeah, maybe I could talk later. Whatever. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. And I'll post for thumbnail.